State Farm is there. Don't worry, Rob. You're covered. Okay, sorry. Where was I?
State Farm agents are there whenever you need them.
The Warriors are proud to welcome Lucky California and their guests to tonight's game. Welcome. The Warriors would like to welcome MRC and all their guests in attendance. Welcome. The Warriors would also like to welcome Under Armour and their guests joining us this evening. Welcome. The Warriors 2016-17 season is presented by Kaiser Permanente.
Every class in every school. What we did today is really just dive up their level that we can bring on the Golden State Warriors, and that will be their Warriors Code program.
The only thing we can is always one of the biggest things to be Warriors. We live in a world today where technology, what fits everything in this world.
In the future, so I love technology, I love everything about it. So coding is one step closer. It's creative. I think that people think of coding as just like technical or nerdy thing to do. For kids, I think it's the opportunity to see something that you make come alive. It's creative. I think that people think of coding as just like technical or nerdy thing to do. For kids, I think it's the opportunity to see something that you make come alive. It's creative. I think that people think of coding as just like technical or nerdy.
The Warriors would like to welcome the Center for Excellence in Prince of St. Mancher to the Oracle Zone.
All right, next we have our next area Olympians. Rugby player Oakland resident. Give it up for Victoria Lyon. Welcome to the Warriors ground.
The rugby together for 2012 Olympic bronze medalist in judo, Tampa Bay resident Marty Malloy.
Basketball on CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Honda. Great deals are waiting for you now at your local Honda dealer. By Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Getting ready to start the second half. Just talking to Derek Richardson about that play within the cylinder. That officiating crew was right on that in the first half. Curry and Durant in double figures with Lillard with 17. And as Jim highlighted, the game within the game. The point guards were going at each other pretty relentlessly. And in the Western Conference, it's that pecking order with Curry and Chris Paul and Mike Conley and Damian Lillard and Russell Westbrook. And they all know when they play each other, it's a measuring stick for that given night and really that season. And while Steph may never publicly come out and say it, I think he reminded young D'Angelo Russell that when the Lakers play the Warriors, the point guard matchup is another one to keep an eye on. Last couple preseason games, Curry started to find his sea legs as far as shooting the ball, and did it at the expense of the second-year player for L.A.
Well, the Blazers finished 5th in the West last year. We'll see what happens this year.
Well,
they'll be matching up with Memphis and Mike Conley a lot to see who prevails.
Where do you see Minnesota with Tom Thibodeau and Utah this year in terms of improved teams in the West?
Yeah, Utah's difficult for me to analyze. I just don't know exactly where they're going to be.
But getting George Hill is going to help them, Jim, because they had really scuffled at the point guard spot.
I agree.
Speaking of scuffling, Clay is 1 of 6, and we haven't seen that in the preseason or the Olympics or the regular season or the playoffs. He's just having an odd shooting night. Durant and Draymond Green, Zaza Pachulia running the floor. With Steph and Clay, that's the lineup to begin the second half. Lillard, McCollum, Aminu, Plumlee. Damian and passed a little errants and deflected out of bounds.
If you don't see the ball, they can throw it right by your ear. And that's exactly what happened. Good look down the court. And get Pachulia a basket.
Well, the Warriors have 12 assists. You want to hazard a guess as to the 2 leading assisters on the team tonight? Draymond missed that one badly. Draymond Green has 4 assists, and Kevin Durant has 4 assists.
We're going to see them spread that around all season long, from game to game. And also, Bobby, we talked about possibly Draymond getting more triple-doubles this year. I just think with Durant, he's going to be assisting. There won't be as many assists for Draymond. I mean, he averaged 7.5 assists. He was one of the leading assist men in the league last year. But there aren't going to be as many opportunities. They're going to do it collectively.
Well, I think the nice thing with Klay Thompson's extension, with Draymond Green's extension, and the upcoming extensions for Durant and Steph Curry, nobody needs to play for numbers. No. People are paid already. So you play basketball the right way. This team does.
You've got to manage your egos, and this group does. They really do.
Curry kind of aided a stumbling McCollum to the ground, and he was called for the foul.
You could bring in personnel, and that's, you and I talked about it before the game. We've talked about it this summer. You bring in someone like Durant, yes, he's a big-time scorer. Led the league in scoring 4 separate times. But his ego is in check. He wants to play the game the right way.
He takes pride in everything else he does in addition to scoring.
Yes, he does.
McCollum rebounding one of those saves.
McCollum does such a great job of getting mid-range jump shots in traffic. Somehow becomes elusive off of a screen and finds a crack in the defense.
Pachulia is involved in a lot of contact. That time Zaza shoved to the ground. Bob Myers has done a phenomenal job building this roster, managing the cap as well.
You can talk about free agents and everything, but you know the Warriors started last year. You look at the playoff run, you look at the finals, all 5 starters were draft picks. Okay? They were draft picks by the Warriors.
And then Bogut with the trade. AD rattling that 3 out. Lillard missing, and Pachulia will send Curry to midcourt. And Clay did the right thing there. Clay could say, I'm not having a good shooting night, let myself get going. He was open, but Durant was wide open. And And that's what Steve Kerr says, good to great shots.
And that leads to more passing, by the way. Doing things like that.
Inu and Draymond and Durant are owning the glass right now.
I give Inu that all day.
KD!
He knows how to trail on this team.
When your power forward can lead the break and your small forward can trail and drop the hammer. He hit a 3 the prior possession, and he rocks the rim on this one. And Portland takes time.
Lamborghini, blue Medina, always beaming, rag top, chrome pipe, blue lights, out of sight, long weed, sold in, say it again, sold in, make that money, throw it in, booty bouncing, don't hit, everybody here, get your back off the wall, cause the meaner said, everybody, well my name, let's see. She'll sing on acapella.
This is that original. This has no identical. You can't hack my digital. Future aboriginal. Get up off my genitals. I stay on that pinnacle. Kill you with my lyricals. Call me verbal criminal. Send you to that clinical. Subscribe you some chemicals. Audio and visual. Can't see me. Invisible. I'm old school like biblical. Futuristic next level. Never on that typical. Will I stop? Oh, never know. Now, baby, don't you stop it. Stop it. Now, baby, don't you stop it.
Lead at 6, and we want to welcome in the president of the Warriors, Rick Welch, sitting alongside. And people know Bob Myers, they know Joe Lacob, but this is the LeBron James of the business side, the Steph Curry of the business side in the NBA. Congratulations on the United Airlines founding partnership for the Chase Center.
That's our first founding partnership for Chase Center, and you know our model. This is all privately financed. So commitments of companies like United, having the vision that we have for what that's going to become, really is essential to making this happen.
So tell people the update on the Chase Center. In terms of construction timelines, in terms of legal situations, all systems go right now?
Almost go. We're this close, right? So we're going to be opening in the summer of 2019. We have, to accomplish that, we've got to have one more court case finished, which will happen by late November. With that, we've got 2.5 years of construction, opening in the summer of 19, and the 1920 Warriors season will start at Chase Center.
You having fun watching Kevin Durant added to a team that won 88 games a year ago?
I'm pinching myself. Did that guy play for us?
Klay Thompson misfiring there.
Rick, I think it's interesting. Yes, the Warriors have a lot of talent right now and putting it together, but it takes me back to the all-day meeting we had, the entire organization a couple of weeks ago, and I just remember some of the basics. You're talking about good people, integrity, and relationships. And then I listened to Steve Kerr. We talked why he hires Mike Brown. Relationships. It's more than talent. Putting all of this together from the business side clear down to the playing side.
I think that's one of the most gratifying things we have going right now. From you guys sitting courtside every night to the people in the front office to these amazing guys representing us on the court. I've been doing this since I was 16 years old. Yes. I've never been around such an extraordinary group of dedicated people who are so focused on not only getting it done, but getting it done in the right way.
And this filters throughout the organization from the top, Peter Guber, Joe Lacob, and yourself, all the way down to the employee who maybe sweeps up the floor.
Well, there's no piece that's not important when you're putting the puzzle together, right? And everyone has a contribution to make, and just like these guys out on the floor. Everyone's got a contribution to get to our ultimate goal.
It has not gone unnoticed. The Sports Business Journal Franchise of the Year, that's in all professional sports, 2 of the last 3 seasons. And then the Encore Award at Stanford, that's for any business organization, not just sports, and the Warriors won that.
Companies like Apple, Google, Twitter have won that award.
Steph Curry hitting the 3, and the Warrior lead at 6.
Well, he is doing it tonight.
I quote you a lot on the talk show on KMBR and on the broadcast regarding Steph Curry. When you're asked constantly, is Steph Curry as good as he seems? And you always say, no, he's better.
and that's the truth. It's such an extraordinary, when you have that guy as your leader in the locker room, and you have an awful lot going for you, and it just amazes all of us. I know it amazes you that he never changes. He just absolutely never changes.
Minu flipping it up and in. Curry and Lillard have been having fun going at each other. Steph floating it up and out. And Klay Thompson the rebound, and he will get to the line. Joe Lacob has talked recently about the Warrior Foundation. And I think the success on the court, everyone gets to see. But the success off the court, with the individual grants of $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 of the various community organizations to promote underprivileged opportunities in education all throughout the Bay Area, the Warrior Foundation is on a great, successful trajectory right now.
It's something that was a core tenet when Joe and Peter bought the team. It's something we're very proud of what we built to this point, and our aspirations are really to be the most important foundation associated with any sports team in any league, and I think we're well on our way. We have some very big plans in the future we're not ready to announce yet, but to be able to really affect the educational outcomes, the life outcomes of kids here in the Bay Area, there's really nothing that we could deploy our resources toward to be more important.
What I like about the foundation is you raise all the money each year and give it away that year, and then start all over again.
Right. We gave away something about like $1.5 million last year. We think we're going to break that significantly this year, and that does a lot of good.
Corner 3 misfired by Harkless. And Durant attacking. KD 3.
With this kind of firepower, we've seen it before. If you add another, it doesn't matter if there's anyone under the rebound. And I love sure he gives them carte blanche and a green light. If you feel good about the shot, take it. Early offense.
Kick save out of bounds. I think it's been reported, but when Kevin Durant met with the Warrior contingency in making his free agent decision, the business side had a very splashy video and talked all about the franchise and the Bay Area, and Joe elected not to even run the video because the players were talking to Durant about what it means to be part of the Warrior organization, and that was it.
It was pretty clear who the best salespeople in the room were, and it wasn't Steve Kerr, and it wasn't Joe Lacob, and it wasn't Bob Myers. It was the 4 players that attended that meeting and made the impression that made all the difference in the world to KD.
Not only did he come here to win a championship, and several of them, number 3 from KD, but I don't think he had that kind of harmony that would bring people together on a personal relationship, and he came here to forge friendships with these players.
Well, when he talks about seeing those 4 guys walk into the home where the meeting was, like they were holding hands. I think that's what he envisioned.
Kevin Durant on cue has exploded for 14 in the third, 26 in the game, and tossed in the last 3 from Fremont, and the Warrior lead is 15.
Get up, make some noise!
Bob and Jim with Warrior President Rick Welch, and we're talking about how much fun Warrior basketball is and the people involved. And Kevin Durant decides to remind everybody he's one of the best players in the world in this quarter. And you just get giddy watching the possibilities of the talent on this roster.
That one just slipped out of Steph Curry's hand.
Damian Lillard wants to answer.
Durant got so hot he made anything we were talking about irrelevant.
Talk about the fan experience at the Chase Center, because I'm hearing that there's going to be an experience center, kind of a sales center built in San Francisco. What's the update with that?
Well, we're actually have it almost completed right now. It's a block away from the site. It'll be a place for fans to come and really see in advance of the construction everything that's going to happen in and around that site. It's it's not only the arena itself. It's the plaza surrounding 100,000 square feet of mostly restaurant retail. It's 2 office buildings and a 5.5-acre park, all going to be constructed at the same time. It's totally going to change the experience of attending a game. There it is right on the screen now.
So this is the look at the Chase Center. The park that you're talking about, activated by the privately financed construction. Amazing architecture. What I like, and Jim and I appreciate, is that the acoustics in the building are going to be as loud as Oracle. Everybody asks, well, are you going to move and lose that feel? And you've done all the sound studies here to replicate via the architecture in the Chase Center.
Well, and a couple of things. The building will actually be smaller than Oracle Arena. We'll have 18,000 seats instead of the 20,000 we have here. We have some interior elements, really only one ring of mid-level suites. But we'll have as many suites as we have here. A little trick up our sleeves we haven't really explained yet. But everything is focused on maintaining the thing that's the most special about what we have going, and that's that crowd that we have that cheers us every night.
Also, too, think about the entertainment opportunities via concerts. We're in a political season, maybe a convention for one of the political parties. San Francisco's never had an iconic arena or any arena in downtown ever.
Well, it's transformational for, the musical community in San Francisco. All the artists who've never been able to play San Francisco will now have that opportunity. The family shows that have had to bypass San Francisco because of lack of a venue will be there. From a cultural standpoint, an entertainment standpoint, in addition to everything that's going to happen in sports, it's going to be, the building that San Francisco deserves in the whole Bay Area.
Also, too, Jim, with Peter Guber involved, technologically, it will be superior to any building that we have seen. And Rick, you were involved in the league office for so long. You've seen the construction of all these various venues over time. I cannot even think of how much fun the Chase Center is going to be for the fans and just the whole experience of being in the building.
Well, every time one of these buildings opens, it takes, the art of our game to another place.
Steph Curry hitting the three.
And that's what we're going to be doing. Can I tell you a quick Peter Guber story?
Sure.
So I'm watching the Dodgers game last night, 5th inning. One of the 100 times the umpires had to go to instant replay. Right. And there's Peter Guber sitting there in his Dodgers shirt. I'm thinking, I think Peter's supposed to be at the owners' meeting in New York. I guess he's skipping that. So I get a text from Joe Lacob at 6 a.m. this morning. Text starts by saying, Peter and I are sitting here at the owners' meeting in New York. So Peter somehow managed to attend the Dodgers game last night.
He might have been an emoji.
It might have been a hologram. I'm not sure. It might have been a hologram.
Hey, he's one of the leading Hollywood producers. If he had to create a body double, he probably could get it done.
That's just who he is. Hanging out with him for a day, I'm exhausted. Right?
Well, and also, too, for Joe Lacob, hey, I'm in New York. We have a preseason game. Oh, I'll be back for the game. He told me, I'm going to land in Oakland. I'm coming straight to the arena.
That's what he did. He sat through the whole meeting today, 2 o'clock, got on a plane and got back in by game time.
All right, so dangerous territory because we waded into this with Bob Myers last week. the reporting as to not be public, but from everything that we are hearing, the player relations and the owner negotiating committee, as far as the collective bargaining agreement, there seems to be a lot of positivity. I think that's fair to say that Michelle Roberts and Adam Silver have done a really nice job in the current negotiations. I can say that, right?
You can say that, but I have this little thing called a fine if I talk about collective bargaining at all, so I don't know how long he's known me, but I'm a little tight with the checkbook.
Curry on the pump fake. Shot clock at 5. Now down to 2. And Ian Clark putting it up and in.
He's playing really well tonight. Not making mistakes, under control, confident in his shot.
Portland led this game by 16 points. And the Warriors have reversed things dramatically.
Well, everybody can get a wake-up call, but when great players get a wake-up call, they can do something about it. And the Warriors rectified it.
Shot clock at 1. Evan Turner missing wide left. And the Warriors push. You ever believe, Rick, that for someone who was the impetus behind the Dream Team and All-Star Weekend and the growth of the NBA, as Curry misses there, that you'd see in 2016 where the league is globally, where it is fan-wise, where it is interest, and a team like the Warriors. I mean, it really, for someone who's made their life's work the NBA, it's got to be incredibly gratifying.
It's unbelievable, and nobody could have foreseen the growth of this league. This week I was at the Women's Sports Foundation dinner in New York, sitting with David Stern and Russ Granick, Deputy Commissioner then, and we were saying the same thing. Who could have imagined?